Ladies and gentlemen, boys and
girls,
welcome to episode...
something.
I think this is episode 30.
I wouldn't trust you if I were you.
No, I'm pretty sure this is episode 30, but it could be 31 or 29. I'm pretty sure it's 30 of the Spearhead Sundays podcast. And I am joined by the lovely Jasmine, my girlfriend.
Hi.
I thought that we would celebrate episode 30 by having my wonderful girlfriend on the podcast.
Or episode 31.
Or episode 31.
Or 29.
Whatever the fuck it is.
It's
okay?
a very special episode.
Oh yeah, of course it's special because I got you on here. And I talk about you so much that I figured that everybody should meet you.
Your girl.
Again. Yeah, my girl, okay? Shout out to the one guy who said... I got one comment from this dude that really pissed me off. He said, "Stop calling your girlfriend your girl. It sounds like cancer." How about, alright, you stay out of my relationship and stop giving me rules because I enjoy it. Jasmine enjoys it. How about go fuck yourself? Yeah?
Yeah.
How about that, mate? What do you think, Jazz? Yeah? You don't have anything to say? That's alright. So, you may remember Jasmine from the Face Beef days when we hoaxed Today Tonight and A Current Affair.
Yeah, that was me.
So, if you don't know, the Today Tonight thing, what happened was Today Tonight and A Current Affair did a story on us. I'll give you a really super brief outline. They wanted to do a story on cyberbullying, and we told them they were cyberbullies and they were making us look like we were evil. And then Jazz comes along.
I stepped in as the innocent victim.
Yeah, that was being bullied.
Look, I think I played it really well, to be honest.
I think you smashed it out of the park.
They took it hook, line and sinker.
Yeah, because it's actually incredible what I learned from those Today Tonight things, how quickly they turn around stories and how, like, it's not that they don't do research, it's that they literally don't have time to do research.
They don't do research either, though.
They don't.
No,
it's
they
obviously,
didn't.
yeah. Because what
try.
happened, you just sent them an email, and then, was it the same day?
Yeah, so they were running the story, and then I said, I drafted an email. I called Lewis, said, "Hey, I've drafted this email saying I'm a victim, about to send it. What do you think?" He goes, "Yeah, send it." And literally within an hour, they were calling me.
An hour. They just read it and they're like, "This is true," and called it.
I think it was about 8 or 9 o'clock at night that I sent it. So I don't know
Under the
how
pump.
they just called me and they wanted me to come on. And I was quite busy, so I said, look, obviously we wanted to get the filming done. But I said, could we make it, the next day rather than straight away? And they're like, we can't, we have to do it before the weekend, and all these filthy lies just to get the film done straight away. So it's hilarious the way that they do their production.
Yeah, it's crazy. They're just that, because when you think about it, all those current affairs shows, they have to put out 4 stories a day. 4 or 5 a day.
Yeah, for the whole week.
And you just got to believe everybody at their word, and not always are they telling the truth. So what was it like when you actually filmed with them? Because I filmed with them, but I was the villain, so they didn't treat me well. But you were the victim. How did they treat you?
Well, that was a very long time ago now, but I haven't thought about this in ages. Well, we went to the park. They picked me up. It was actually on my lunch break at work. I gave up my lunch break to do the filming.
So what was that, half an hour? They got the story done?
It was about 45 minutes. They picked me up. They went to the closest park and we shot there, and then they took me home. I lied to them about where I was working in the building because I knew that all hell was going to break loose when they found out the truth. So,
you don't want them showing up.
So I told them I worked at one of the offices that I didn't work at, and they were so supportive. They were like, "You're so brave," and they offered me money for my bravery.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It wasn't for the bravery, it was for the exclusivity, really. They wanted to... I can't remember exactly what they said. They said something like, they wanted to compensate me for the bravery that I've putting myself through to tell the story.
Money, because I think we decided not to take money.
We decided not to take money because...
I guess they could sue us.
Because exactly all hell was going to break loose when they found out. So...
Yeah.
Didn't take the money. And... after they shot it and dropped me back at work, they sent me an email saying, oh, once again, you're so brave, you look so great on the camera and all
That's
this
hilarious.
shit. Just treating me like I was a stupid girl. So that was quite funny. I don't feel like they were very nice, but they definitely didn't respect me as a human. They just wanted the story out of me. So yeah, that's kind of what happened with the shooting. But it was really funny after it did go to air, where I was working at the time. It was there were a lot of backpackers and tourists working there. I was in an office with probably 30 people, and about 80% of them were from overseas, from Europe or from America. And they just didn't understand the cultural significance of A Current Affair or Today Tonight. Like the way that Australians do, how they're sort of a program that you just don't take seriously and all that.
Everybody, unless you're like 60 years old and racist, you don't really believe A Current Affair or Today Tonight.
Yeah. But all these tourists, they just didn't understand the way that we understood it. So all they heard was that one of their co-workers, had gone on a serious news program and made fun of cyberbullying. So that was the rumour going around the office, and I got shunned for probably about 2 or 3 weeks. Not very many people wanted to talk to me.
Jeez, that'd be horrible, getting shunned by backpackers. You sure really wanted to hang out with those guys.
Oh no, look, it didn't bother me all too much, but that was just a funny memory about the time. They all got over it.
Yeah, they just forgot about it. They probably had enough pills to forget the whole 2 weeks.
My boss pulled me aside and they said to me, oh, it's no secret that you've had a big week this week.
I love when jobs do that, if you fuck up or you do something, they don't just, they never confront you and say, hey, we know that you've been on TV. It's like, they just use language the least impactful language possible. Yeah,
it was really weird. I don't know. I didn't work there for very long. That was such a long time. It's like more than 3
years,
almost 3.5 years ago now.
Yeah, because we've been dating. A lot of people don't know this. We've been together for over 4 years now.
4 years and 2 months.
Yeah, you would know. I wouldn't. I only remember 4 years because it happened 2 months ago.
It's funny, every time an anniversary comes around, shortly after, in my brain, I just think that we're at the next year already. The other day I caught myself thinking we've almost been together for 5 years.
Yeah, which is just, that's not true, is it?
No, but I bet you next time someone asks us how long we've been together, I'll say, oh, it's about 5 years.
Yeah, because Jazz and I got together, I was 18. Were you also 18?
No,
you were
I was 17 when we first met.
Yeah.
But when we got together, I was 18.
Yeah, but mentally, Jazz was about 25 and I was 6. So
yeah, Lewis was about 6. So
it worked out well.
Don't tell the police.
Yeah. And we met. I think this is an interesting story. We met online. Jazz messaged one of the pages. Well,
back in the Face Beef days, the Face Beef page kept on coming up in my news feed on Facebook, and I didn't understand. A big thing for me is understanding the motivations of why people do something, and trying to wrap my head around why these teenage boys were being dickheads on the internet.
Yeah.
Like, I understood that it was funny. Like, I got that. I didn't think that there was anything wrong with the page. It's just I could tell that it was, as well as being so silly, it was also really intellectual. I just couldn't place it in my brain.
Couldn't figure out that
why.
Maybe there was no reason. Maybe
exactly.
Jazz needs to find a reason. And I think for Face Beef, with Face Beef, a few things we did for a reason, but the overall thing, it was just because it was
just
funny.
For the sake of it.
Just because.
Yeah. So anyway, there was some shardhead in my news feed who kept on commenting on the Face Beef posts.
Yeah.
So Face Beef kept popping up back ages ago in my news feed, and I just one night I thought, I'll just message a page, I'll see if they'll respond, and I just sent a message something along the lines of,
it was like, hey, I understand this page is funny, but
I was
don't
just
understand.
Wondering why it is that you do what you do.
Yeah, something like that. This is funny, but why do you do it?
Yeah, it was just really simple. I was just wondering if someone was going to give me a serious response. I didn't really expect anything.
And I was going through a phase at this point in my life where I just like to fuck with girls and mess with their heads.
Yeah,
and
call it
so,
a phase.
Yeah. But then I messaged back and I said, so we can meet hot girls like you added, and then I sent her a friend request.
He said,
Like, the
added.
most douchebag response.
Added, like it was just the final, like the end of the story.
Like it was an honour to
Like-
get her a friend request from
Like
me.
he was expecting me to be like, oh wow, I got a friend request from the Nebs.
Because if you act arrogant, you can really piss somebody off.
And this was back when Nebs was anonymous, only known by the name Nebs. It didn't have a
Yeah,
face.
I was anonymous, at that time. Because originally, the original plan was to get Nebs Adley on a current affair bullying Lewis Spears.
Anyway, but back to what happened. So Lewis, I sent that question. Lewis sent that
So
response.
we can meet hot bitches like you added. And then Jasmine said,
yeah, which is, that response she said to me, obviously I'm just gonna accept that friend request, right?
yeah, that's when she really fell in love with me.
Yeah, that's when I knew.
It's like,
He
wow,
was the one.
this is a good person I'm talking to right
Oh
now.
wow, that really helps, hits my daddy issues on the head. No, what actually happened was I saw his message and I just thought, what a cunt. And I sent back, it was approximately said, in what universe do I accept your friend request? Stick to girls who are 4 out of 10 and below.
Which is just great. And I read that and I was like, I like this girl.
Anyway, that
This
was
is a challenge now.
That was our first interaction.
Yeah, so she didn't like me.
So this was more than 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Didn't get the answer to my question.
No.
Still haven't, to be honest.
Yeah. But then, down the track we actually did end up meeting in person, and our first date was pretty horrible because
It wasn't really a date. We
yeah,
just
I don't
met
think
up.
either of us were being ourselves. We were both very closed and locked up.
Well, yeah, after that initial conversation.
Yeah, because I was basically playing the same character as what I messaged her with, which was Nebs, and I was being really closed off because I was just not interested
let me
in it.
tell you something about
Listeners,
Lewis.
are you calling them that?
Yes, what do you
I
call
call
them?
faggots.
Alright, faggots. Faggots, let me tell you something about Lewis.
Yeah.
Lewis doesn't know how to act around girls.
Are you kidding?
No.
Yes, I do. I'm suave
really?
as fuck.
He's suave. Okay, apparently Lewis is suave.
Yeah.
Okay, but from a girl's perspective, Lewis does not know how to act around girls. So when we first met up, he was just not awkward. Like,
No, you know what it was?
Lewis
I was
wasn't
guarded.
awkward,
I didn't-
but the
'cause I-
situation was awkward.
I was guarded because I was in my head for a long time before you. I was like, I'm not going to get in a relationship because that's just going to get in the way of me becoming what I want to become. Which I still think is a valid way to think. I think you should not be chasing relationships ever. You shouldn't ever be like, oh, I need a girlfriend. Because that's just going to get you somebody that you settle for.
Yeah. But also, you hadn't really met anyone worth settling for.
Oh yeah, all the girls that I dated were whores.
Horrible.
And like all the girls that I dated before Jazz, but were almost it was almost the reason why I dated them was to confirm my suspicions that all girls were whores. And it was like I think fire is hot, and then just putting my hand into fire and going,
It was
yes.
a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah, I was basically doing that to myself. And then
So when we did meet up, we went to Chapel Street.
Yeah.
And I had no idea who I was meeting because he was anonymous. And
Yeah, you're nuts. As if you did that. I could have been 45 and a serial murderer.
Oh, it was on
You're
Chapel
insane.
Street.
Yeah, it was a public place. You did it well, but still, what a stupid thing to do.
So I was sitting on the bench waiting for someone to walk up to me, and he walks up, this guy in his Nebs hoodie.
Oh yeah, that ugly hoodie that I used to
horrible
rock.
hoodie. I think I threw that out, by the way.
No, it's still, you can't throw it
Oh.
out. I'll never wear it again, but it needs to just stay there so I can remember it.
I think it needs to burn.
Yeah.
But yeah, our first date was horrible. It actually ended with me intentionally hitting my head on a pole.
Yeah.
Which is, the way good first dates go.
Oh yeah. And I was like, this girl's weird as fuck. I don't think I like her.
Yeah, Lewis just did something that really shocked me, and for some reason my reaction was to hit my head on a pole.
Yeah.
But anyway, it turned out well in the end.
Yeah, it turned out well. Then we ended up meeting up a few other times, and we actually were ourselves. And then we were like, oh shit, I actually like this new person that I've met.
Yeah, Lewis let his guard down, and that meant that, I don't know, we ended up chatting, I don't know.
It just happened, and then
now
here we are 4 years later, and we're trapped. But I think that what I was saying before about relationships is that relationships definitely can get in the way of whatever you want to do. But I think only if you have a bad partner or a partner that isn't right for you. And I don't think you're ever going to find the right person for you if you go looking for it. If you go looking for love and you seek love out, or you say, oh, I really want a relationship, because all that happens is you end up settling for the first person who wants to fuck you.
Yeah, when we first met, neither of us wanted to be in a relationship. Not at all.
We both actively making the decision, I don't want that.
We were both completely happy being single. And I think that's why...
That's really important too.
Yeah, you have to be happy being single. Because a lot of people do ask us, because we're quite young. We're only 22.
Yeah, like we've been dating since 18, like since high school. That's a really long time. And lots of people go, oh, why? Why are you doing that?
Yeah, we have a really healthy relationship. And, you know, people who are even heaps older than us, like I just see all my friends getting in relationships and then they break up because they don't understand, like, what it is that makes a relationship healthy. So from my perspective, I'd say you both have to be whole and standalone people by yourselves.
Yeah, you have to be able. If you're unable to be happy by yourself, no one can make you happy.
If you go looking for your happiness in someone else, you're going to be constantly disappointed.
Yeah.
So you have to work on yourself. That's if you're having trouble in love and you're thinking, why can I never find someone who's perfect for me? Don't worry about that shit. Just focus on yourself. Yeah,
somebody will come along, because at the end of the day, if you can focus on your own shit and you can get some semblance of, if you want to be a painter and you just focus on painting and painting and painting, that way before you meet somebody, you're like, you meet them as a painter and you're like, this is what I do, and I would like someone who can fit into this life. Rather than being half a person, dating someone else who's also half a person, and then you figure out, oh fuck, I want to be a race car driver and she hates that because that means I'll spend less time with her. And then you'll just end up resenting that person.
But also, like attracts like. So if you have confidence in yourself,
definitely,
because you know who you are, you're going to attract someone who also, they have confidence and they have in themselves and they know who they are. And together, you're going to be a good couple, whereas you wouldn't be if you didn't know who you were.
100%.
Yeah.
This turned into a really in-depth relationship advice podcast, didn't it?
Well, I hear a lot of these faggots need it.
Yeah, I do get a lot of relationship questions, actually. All right, what else did I want to talk about today? Where are my notes? I got my notes here. If you can hear rain, by the way, we're sitting in the car recording this. Sorry if you can hear rain.
We're in a car park outside of a Hungry Jack's.
Yeah. It's very classy what we're doing right now.
I think it's where you should record a podcast, really.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, the car park outside of a Hungry Jack's, like, pretty much sums up a lot of our relationship. This is what I wanted to talk about. I get a lot of questions about the locker that's in my room. The locker from a school. And I don't think I've told...
This is a hypothetical
I've told this story once. This is a hypothetical story. None of it is true. But I think that the best way to tell this fake, definitely not true story would be with the girl who was also not there. Because neither of us did this. But we'd like to tell you this story that's not true.
So if there was...
How did this theoretical school locker...
Look, if there was an interesting story about a school locker... It would
go like this.
Yeah, it would go something like this. So... In this story, let's say we'll just make it with the characters called Jasmine and Lewis.
Yeah. But these are like fictionalized versions of ourselves. Yeah. So
one
night,
the cops. Early when we'd first started dating, or when Jasmine and Lewis had.
This is only like 2 months in. Wasn't
we'd only been together a very short amount of time.
We didn't really know each other, and we were
when
already.
My parents were away on a holiday.
Yeah. So which will come into the story later.
Oh god.
So we'll preface the story. Jasmine, her parents were away for a month.
Yeah, and Lewis was staying at my house. We were just.
And was that allowed?
No,
that wasn't allowed. That was a classic story of parents are out, come over, and do things that teenagers do.
So Lewis was staying at my house, and we thought we'd go up to Sky High in the Dandenongs one night. So we drove up there. Yeah,
which is like, it's just like a lookout. It's like a romantic lookout thing.
Yeah, we drove up there. We had some fun up there.
Yeah.
And then we were coming back down, and we passed a school that
Jasmine didn't used to go to.
I didn't used to go to
She
school.
she definitely...
I didn't go to this school for many years and hate the teachers.
Yeah.
And the system. Not at all. It was definitely not that school.
It was this little tiny, like, Christian school.
Private Christian school. There's only... Each year level was only 20 people.
Yeah.
So there was one class for each year level with about 20 people.
So if Jasmine did go to this school, everybody would have known her.
Yeah. So definitely, it wasn't that school. But we drove past this school that I didn't go to. And I said, hey, look at this school that I didn't go to. Let's go in and have a look so you can see the school that I didn't used to go to.
Yeah.
Yep. So we drove in.
No, Jasmine and Lewis drove in. We didn't do this. Jasmine and Lewis drove in we went... Okay, this is getting really confusing.
Yeah.
Well, okay, this is what it is. Now we're acting and we're playing the characters, so we can say we. This is now a play. Yeah. We're playing Jasmine and Lewis, the characters, remembering this thing that did not happen. Alright? So we drove into the car park.
Drove into the car park.
We backed in.
I was showing Lewis around.
We're in this shitty little sedan car.
No, it was my first car. It was a Mazda 626 hatch. Older than I was.
Yeah.
But it did have a hatchback and you could put the seats down in the back.
Yeah.
So what happened was we just were walking around having a look. There was no one there. It was really late at night. And I said to Lewis, hey, Lewis.
The lockers are just there.
Do you want to steal a locker?
And I thought, why the fuck not?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay. So we backed the car up. There were lockers in an open, accessible area. Backed the car up, put the back seats down, pushed the passenger seat all the way to the front as far as it would go.
Yeah, so there should be nobody sitting in the passenger seat anymore.
No, it was pushed all the way forward.
Yeah.
And
we loaded the locker into the back.
We just grabbed the first locker we saw, the one on the end. We together lifted it, put it into the back of the car.
And then I got in the passenger seat.
It just fit.
It really, the front of the locker, because we had to put it in lengthways, and the front of the locker was touching the seat, and the seat was pushed all the way to the front. So I was sitting, when I was in the passenger seat, I was sitting and I had my knees up to my chest and had my head against the windshield.
Yeah, because Lewis doesn't drive. He still doesn't drive. Have you told them that?
Yeah, they know that. They know I'm an invalid.
They know how much of a loser you are.
Yeah.
So Lewis was in the passenger seat. The locker was wedged in. It just fit.
Very unsafe.
Oh, yeah. And then we just
drove away
with the locker.
It's a very simple story.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's
People
a good
are like,
story.
where did you get it? Where did you get it? And I tell them, and then they just... Then like, wait, no, you stole a locker from a school? It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's how we got it.
We took it back to my house because my parents were away. And also with some other shit that we'd stolen.
What else did we take?
When we were at
we went through a phase in our relationship where we just stole shit like all the time.
It was a challenge to see who was better at it.
We never stole anything valuable. Like we didn't steal computers or laptops. It was because the more useless, the funnier it was.
Oh yeah. We have a chicken from Nando's, with the number on it.
Yeah.
The table chicken.
The table number chickens.
I have no idea. We still don't know who stole it, but we have a toilet brush.
Yeah. I think that was just taken from a cafe, a toilet, like...
That's disgusting.
Gross.
We don't remember doing this, but we must have.
One of us did it.
Someone did it.
It was
probably
a good idea
me.
at some point. It was probably Jazz.
It was probably me. Yeah, so it became a challenge to sort of see who was better at stealing stuff. It just sort of escalated. I think the locker was the biggest.
The locker was the last thing that we stole. That was like, when we did that, it was like, we need to stop, otherwise we're going to go to jail.
Yeah, it was like, oh, fuck. But I was always, I'll take the victory. I was always better at stealing things than you.
Well, I think that's because people don't think pretty girls steal stuff.
You reckon?
Oh, 100%. I remember when I shaved my head, I got searched every time I left a store. Girls could steal anything and they don't get searched ever.
Yeah. I remember once I stole the wet floor sign. I went through a phase stealing wet floor signs. I wanted to get every colour that
Yeah, we have like 4 different colours.
4 different colours. It's really hard, by the way, guys. There's usually only yellow. Like, if you see a different colour
we got a
wet
pink
floor
one.
sign,
That's rare as fuck.
bright pink.
Yeah,
and we
bright
have
pink.
a green one.
Yeah, and we've got a yellow one, and we've got something else.
And... yeah, once I remember I was walking out, this was at a different job. I've had quite a few different jobs. And there was this big fancy lobby. I think it was my first job I ever had. Big fancy lobby. I was walking out and there was a wet floor sign. It was bright pink. And as I went, I just grabbed it and put it in my coat, and there was a security guard literally like 2 meters away from me. And I just grabbed it, kept walking, didn't look back, and no one stopped me.
That's it.
So yeah.
Girls can steal. If you're a girl, a lot of girls listen to this podcast, just start stealing stuff.
Oh yeah, send in pictures to Lewis.
Yeah, of stuff that you've stolen.
Actually, don't do valuable stuff. Don't do valuable stuff. Do stupid shit that no one wants.
Yeah.
That's still just really impressive that you stole that? Why?
Yeah,
okay.
This would be actually a really good email. If you have, can you top a locker? Like stealing a full locker with locks on it from a school. Can you top that? What's the most ridiculous thing that you've stolen? If you've stolen something really expensive or really necessary to the function of a business or a house, can you please email me and tell me about it? I will, of course, keep you anonymous. I don't snitch, right? If you've stolen something ridiculous, please tell me. I really want to know.
Although we are in no way encouraging illegal behaviour.
Oh no, illegal behaviour is illegal and no one should do it. In fact, I've never stolen a locker in my life. This
that
is
wasn't
characters.
us.
That was not true.
That was a story that we wrote.
Yeah.
But there is more to that story.
Oh yeah, let's continue telling the story.
Because that sort of ties into then how Lewis met my parents for the first time.
So if anybody thinks that they've had a bad first impression with someone's parents, holy fuck, you really need to listen to mine. This is the story of how I met Jazz's parents. And at this time, we were dating, but we weren't in a serious relationship. So when this all happened, I didn't give a fuck because I'll be like, I might never see this girl again. This is just funny.
Yeah,
but now I have to see them every week.
Yeah, all the time. Well, not every week. Well, like I don't live with my parents, but when you do see them, it's not
we've
as
never
bad.
We've never spoken about me and your dad have never spoken about this again. Let's tell a story, right? So I was staying at Jasmine's house, and Jasmine was explicitly told no boys in the house.
You have to understand, my family is very religious.
Yeah, very religious.
They're Christian and they're very religious, and they're really disappointed in me for not being as religious as they are.
Yeah.
But when you hear the story, maybe you'll understand.
Yeah, maybe the disappointment's pretty valid.
But so Lewis had been staying there. I was working in the city, but not really going to work because I was fucking 17 years old. So you can't. Honestly, who hires a 17-year-old for a full-time job? An idiot. Yeah. So I was working in the city, going sometimes. Lewis was staying at my house while my parents were away. You'd probably stayed for, what is it, 2?
I think
it
was at least 2 weeks. Yeah.
It was around then. Yeah. From when I had my birthday party, and then you just sort of never left.
Yeah.
While my parents were away.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I was just living there, and we were just it was dirty.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we'd taken the queen mattress off one of the beds. It wasn't my parents' bed; it was one of them, and we'd put it in the lounge room. Yeah. And we were just in the lounge room, and it was just filth, and there was sex stuff everywhere.
Oh yeah, condom wrappers,
lube,
just everywhere in the house, like every room
gross.
In the house. It was just filth. It was really disrespectful, but it was fine because we were going to clean it up the day before Jazz's parents came home.
Yeah, we weren't going
to let them see that, but Jasmine's parents did the parent thing of they came home a day earlier than they said they would.
They did. It's exactly as you see it in the movies.
Yeah.
They go, okay, honey, we'll be home tomorrow. And you're like, oh, yeah, sure. And then I get off the phone to my parents and I say to Lewis, it's okay, they're not coming back until tomorrow.
And then 2 hours later, the car rolls up.
With my whole family.
And the whole family for Jazz's is mum, dad, and 3 brothers. One's older than me. So...
And one was really young. One was like really 4 years old.
And
so
one was 12?
The whole thing's really inappropriate.
Oh, yeah.
Because he just doesn't understand. Anyway, so my parents walk into the house. We're in the lounge room. It's lucky we had clothes on.
Oh, yeah. I'm so happy that I wasn't naked because we were for the majority of those 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And they came home and it was just... This is the first time I've never met any of them.
No, let me describe. So, they never met any of them. Just describe, as you come in through my garage, they would have seen, a lot of mess, a lot of sex stuff, food, wrappers, and alcohol bottles. Because it had a birthday party that they didn't know about and we hadn't properly cleaned up. So, there would have been alcohol bottles everywhere.
I'm just cringing remembering this stuff.
Everywhere.
We've never spoken about it.
And
I don't think I've even ever apologised for this.
Lewis isn't the type to apologise. And then there was the sky high sign that we had stolen when we went to Mount Dandenong obviously does not belong in a house.
No.
So that's probably the first red flag. And then as they were coming in, we had realised, and I think we had grabbed the locker and we ran it upstairs to my bedroom and hid it in the cupboard so that they didn't see the locker. Because, you know, this is a school that my parents had paid heaps of money, the private school, to send all their children to.
Desecrated with stealing from.
And we'd stolen.
Yeah, that's
stolen
right,
the
because
locker.
we heard the car come up and we had a split second to decide, do we clean up the condom wrappers or do we clean up the locker?
We were like, well, what's going to get us in more trouble? And it's like, well, obviously you've been living here, so there's no way, like, cleaning up the condom wrappers isn't going to help that. They're still going to know.
But so they'll know that I was living there, so they'll yell about that, but they potentially might not find out that we had been doing major theft activity.
Yeah.
So we hid the locker.
And then my parents come in early. My dad, he's a big, scary guy.
Yeah, he's like 6'4" and he's a big dude. And I'd never met these people. And there was also an older brother. So I'm thinking, and I wasn't serious with Jazz. So I'm thinking, do I just fucking leave? Do I just leave?
He probably would have, except my parents live in the middle of nowhere. So even if he left, there'd be nowhere to go. So I think that's probably the only reason why you didn't run away, isn't it, Lewis?
So I'm shitting and everyone was just yelling. It was like, what is this? What are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. What's that?
One thing about my family,
shitting my pants.
family is so loud. So as soon as shit hits the fan, like, you just can't hear anything. Even my brother who was 4 at the time.
He was yelling?
He was just shouting, running around, doing shit. My mum's like almost crying because she's like, my daughter, my only daughter.
And I'm just standing there in the house going, fuck, is someone going to hit me? Because I come from a really quiet house. Nobody yells in my house.
No one yells.
No one gets in fights.
Except for Lewis.
I yelled
on the
internet, but we never yell at each other. So it was like my first experience with like adults yelling at their children.
Which
I'm
is very
shitting my pants.
Very normal in my house, but of course Lewis didn't understand that.
Yeah.
So it was a really extreme situation because like my parents had walked in to find everything.
They were definitely allowed to yell.
Everything that they had feared for their child.
Yeah, like there was like, oh my god, she's having sex. Holy fuck, she's
drinking alcohol.
She's stealing things. And this is before they discovered the locker.
They didn't even know about the locker
yet.
So we were sort of cleaning up, getting stuff like quickly, trying to gather all of Lewis's stuff so I could leave him.
And I'm getting yelled at.
Yeah,
Your dad's like, how old are you? What's your name? Do your parents know you're here? And I was real confident. I was shitting myself on the inside, but I was like, I can't let him see that he's scaring me. So I was like, yes, my name is this. I live here. My parents know I'm here. I was just like, wasn't giving him anything because I'm like, if I act scared, someone's gonna hit me.
Yeah, so we were running around the house trying to get all of Lewis's stuff just to leave because there's no point staying. Like, when my family gets all up in arms, it's just it.
There was no talking in this situation. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I did do something very smart, though. Your mum was, like, crying and very quiet and by herself, and I came up to her and I apologised to her.
Aww.
And I was like, if I can win the mum over, I'm going to win this whole family. And it was very effective. It fucking worked, okay? Because now your dad has begrudgingly accepted my existence. And
don't ruin the end of the story.
Okay, alright, yeah. He kills me.
So, yeah, in all this chaos, I went up to my room just to grab a couple of things, and in my room I see my 4-year-old little brother. This is where we had hidden the locker. We'd hidden it as best we could in the cupboard.
In the wardrobe, so you would only see it if you opened the wardrobe.
It wouldn't fit in the wardrobe, but it was kind of hidden behind the wardrobe door. So you'd only see it if you came right into the room and looked behind the wardrobe door.
And that's exactly what your little brother did.
And that's exactly what the 4-year-old shit did.
Yeah. This is like after 20 minutes of hysterical anger.
Oh,
and I'm just thinking, please don't find the locker.
We were just about to leave, and we thought we were all in the clear, because I thought if I could get Lewis out of there, no one would go into my room, and then we could deal with the locker later.
Yeah.
But no, so I love my little brother, of course. He's the baby of the family. But God, did he have to find the locker?
So he found it, and then he said he told everyone he called the cops.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. I remember this.
Really?
Don't you remember this? He had the phone, right? He came and told everybody that we stole the locker.
4 years old. What a little
4 years
shit.
old. He got the
Snitch.
phone, and he told everybody that he called the police.
Because
we stole the locker.
And then my whole family goes, what? Like, could this situation get any worse?
Yeah, so now the police are coming around, is what we think anyway.
Yeah.
It turns out that he didn't call the police, but he told everybody that he did.
Yeah. So they all came into my room, and saw the locker, and it's just, you wouldn't have thought they could get any angrier, but they did. They got angrier.
And I think I was standing outside the house at this point, because I was like, I'm just going to let Jazz get my things, and then I'll stand outside. I won't get in anybody's way.
Yeah.
And then it just got so much louder.
Much worse.
And I'm like, holy fuck, they're beating her. So I come in the room.
This is so funny.
Yeah, so I hear yelling, and I'm thinking, holy fuck, they're hitting her. And
They weren't.
But I ran in, and I'm like, I was ready to fight somebody. I'm like, nobody hits a girl.
Yeah.
And I come in, and ready to fight Jazz's dad and her older brother and lose.
Yeah.
And then I walk in, and then everyone's just surrounding the locker, and I'm like, oh, fuck.
They're all shouting. He's like, is that from the school? Where did you... I can't believe you stole the locker. You have to take it back. Get it out of here, is what they just started saying. They're like, get it out of here. So Lewis helped me carry it down the stairs.
Which was very daunting, because we were taking it down the stairs.
And everyone was watching us.
I had to walk past your dad while we're holding this stolen locker, and he's yelling at me going, do your parents know you've been out here stealing things? What would your parents say? And I just said, I don't think they'd mind, to be honest, because they wouldn't, and they didn't.
They wouldn't, no.
I don't think they'd mind, and that just blew his fucking mind. He said, what do you mean they wouldn't beat the shit out of you? That doesn't make any sense.
Lewis's parents and my parents are
very different.
They're really, we come from opposite families. My family is really highly strung, and Lewis's family, like...
probably a bit too relaxed.
Yeah, a little bit too relaxed, a little bit too irreverent of the law, which is, no surprises where Lewis came from.
Yeah.
So, we're almost done. This is a really long story when we tell it properly.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So we carry it down the stairs. I'm thinking, someone's going to push me down the stairs.
Yeah. We get down the stairs. We wedged it back into the car exactly the same as when we had put it in the first time.
And then,
so Lewis gets in the passenger seat.
No, before this, I want to tell this bit. Okay,
what else happened?
This is my final act of rebellion, because
Hold on.
You don't want to tell this bit?
No, I do know what you're saying. I didn't know. I just want to preface this to say I did not know that Lewis did this.
Okay.
So we'd finally escaped.
We're outside the house.
We put the locker in the car.
I could have run away scot-free
Yeah.
and done nothing and just left, but I had to win,
Yeah,
right? Because
so-
I'm such a douche.
So we finally had gotten everything. We're out. My family was in the house. We were out the front, standing next to my car. We think, oh, thank fuck, that's over. Standing next to my car, I turn to Lewis. I look at Lewis. I smile at him like, oh, thank goodness that's over.
And then we kiss.
And then we kiss.
But what Jazz didn't know...
What I didn't know, and Lewis can tell what actually happened.
In Jazz's mind, what happened was it was a really romantic thing. We got out of there. Now we're safe and we can be together, even though our parents don't want us to be together. But this is what actually happened. So we're standing outside, we load the locker in, and Jasmine's dad is on the balcony out the front of the house.
I had no idea.
Watching us.
Yeah.
And he saw me, and I saw him, and I looked him in the eyes, and then I kissed his daughter in front of him, and then I looked at him again, and then I got in the car.
Yeah.
Like, I win, motherfucker.
And Lewis told me this later. It's just horrible. It's the worst thing. And you wonder why my dad didn't like you.
That would have made him the angriest out of all. If someone did that to me, I would have fucking chased them.
Yeah. After all that had happened, he look, I think he already knew that I was corrupted, so I don't think he blamed you for that.
Yeah.
But still, after all that had happened, and then you look him in the face... I just had
to stir the pot.
Oh, you did.
To make it worse.
Lewis is just as much a shit stirrer in real life as he is on the internet.
Yeah, that's definitely not an act.
No. It's just who he is. He can't help it.
Yeah, because I was thinking at this point, that this is probably over. Like, there's no way the girl's going to come and hang out with me after this happened with her parents. So I'm thinking, I might as well piss them off and make it worse. And then I'll never see her again, and that'll be a funny story. But now I really regret doing that because I have to go over to their house for Christmas. And I reckon it took your dad easily 2 years.
Yeah.
To
and
talk to me.
He's still not completely comfortable with you, but that's fine.
But that's my fault.
But we have to say what happened on the way home with the locker in the car.
So on the way, we'll tell this story really quickly.
I was the driver.
All right, so just to recap, I'm in the front seat. The locker's right behind me. My knees are on my chest. My face is pressed against the window. We almost get home. Because
the seat is all the way wedged forward to fit the locker in. So Lewis is right up the windscreen. And we were driving home like, oh my gosh, I can't believe we got through that.
We were celebrating.
We were celebrating. We're driving to Lewis's house. It was drizzling with rain. It wasn't heavy rain, but it was still rain. And we get right to Lewis's street. It's about half an hour drive between where my parents live and where Lewis lives. We get right to his street. I'd been driving pretty carefully because of the locker in the back and Lewis wedged all the way up to the front to the windscreen.
I was freaking out because I was thinking if we crash, I'm gonna die because I'm so close to the front of the car.
Yeah.
It's very unsafe.
Yeah. So we get right to his street, and I realised just as I'm passing it that I'm about to miss his street. So, look, I was a pretty inexperienced driver. I was only just 18.
Yeah.
So I slammed the brakes on, but it was wet.
And we
so
just started
I slammed
sliding.
the brakes on, tried to turn. It was in the wet. I had no idea what I'm doing. I'm not a very good driver, to be honest.
Yeah, still.
And we just start sliding diagonally.
It's probably the scariest thing I've ever experienced.
With Lewis, his face is like 2 inches from the windshield, and we're about to crash into a pole.
Yeah, like a big light pole, like the shit that people die when
Yeah.
they hit. And
Yeah.
I remember I freaked the fuck out, and the only thing I could manage to say was, please don't crash. And you know what? You didn't listen.
No, I didn't listen. So we crashed into the pole with the locker in the car, with Lewis right up against the windscreen.
So my face hit the windscreen.
Yeah.
The locker hit the back of my head. It was fucked, and it was really loud because the locker's metal.
yeah.
It was so scary.
It was so
We're
scary.
totally fine.
But look, we were fine. The car was fine. It wasn't actually that much of a big crash. It was a small
it just
crash.
felt really big because it was just, yeah.
And
like if we were
after-
going 10 kilometers faster, I would have been in the hospital.
Yeah, maybe. Lewis does overstate things sometimes.
I would have died.
No, yeah, mate, okay.
I would have burned to death in the car. That's
Shut
what would
up.
have
No.
happened. And then we get the locker. Then we drive home.
Yeah.
We get the locker out of the car.
Yeah, so
and
we made
then-
it home to Lewis's house. Lewis is fine. We're all fine.
This
Lewis
is the
wasn't even
contrast
hurt.
between Jazz's parents and my parents. We get the locker out of the car. We bring it through. Jazz is like, "What do we do with the locker?" I'm like, "Oh, we'll just put it in my room." He's like, "What do you mean? What about your parents?" I'm like, "They don't care."
They don't care.
We just bring it out. We bring the locker through the front door. Dad
It's
opens
really
the door.
heavy. It's really
helps
heavy.
me move it into my bedroom.
Because the locker's still full of books with locks
Yeah,
on them.
like some kids' books that they would have
Yeah.
spent. No, 2 kids' books
Yeah,
because
there's
lockers
2
have 2
lockers.
people.
Yeah, so his dad opens the door and he sees us carrying it in. He helps us carry it in. Then he goes, "Oh."
Where did you get that?
We go, "Oh, we just found it." He goes, "Oh, do you need bolt cutters to get the locks off?"
And he helps us break into the locker. He
Yeah.
doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, he just gets bolt cutters. He just
And
cuts
he knows
the
we're
locks
lying.
off.
We didn't find it.
Yeah.
We
yeah.
found a school locker
Oh.
with locks and
Yeah,
books
we just
inside it.
found a school locker. Like,
And he
fully
knew,
stuffed.
and he's like, I don't care. And he helped
But-
us open it.
But here's what I think is the best part of the
Yeah,
story.
this is the best bit.
Because, it was hypothetically the school that I spent most of my high school years at. And when we hypothetically opened the locker, it was hypothetically
Full
the
of-
principal's daughters of the small school. So, look, that's probably...
That's so funny.
We weren't even dating at this point.
Not seriously. We were just basically just seeing each other having sex.
Yeah.
And then we did that, and I was like, you know what? I think I like this girl. I think I like this girl a lot. And then here we are 4 years later. So that's the key to a healthy relationship: is steal something and
And find the crazy that matches your crazy.
exactly.
Yeah.
There you go, guys.
Yeah. So we
fuck.
just talked way too long about our first...
our first experience of stealing shit and hanging out with each other. I think what we should do now is answer some questions.
Yeah, enough about us.
Yeah, I can't
I
believe...
hope you guys enjoyed that.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. That was great.
It's a very funny story. I know Lewis has been waiting so long to tell the locker story.
Yeah, so that is the full story, and it wasn't right to tell the story without Jazz here, even though neither of us did that.
No.
That was all fake.
No.
So,
But-
don't call the cops.
Really? Yeah. So we have a couple of questions.
Yeah,
to
we
go
got some questions, Jazz, and I've picked some that I think that you'd be good at helping these people. So, this is the miscellaneous bit at the end of the podcast. It's the worst part of the podcast.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it is.
No.
Yeah, we're going to do it.
I thought you said that we didn't have to.
No, we have to do this.
I wouldn't have come on the podcast if I knew.
Well, I'm not going to do it by myself.
Oh, can I leave?
You can... No, well, I tell you what. After we do this, we're in the car now. What we'll do is we'll drive to the West Gate and just pull a sharp right and just go off into the water, and that'll be it.
Oh, no, look, that... Yeah, okay, let's do that.
All right.
Okay.
So this will be the final episode of the Spearhead Sundays. All right. So this question, I've got 3 questions today, Jazz. Hey, Lewis. My name is... Oh, he wants a fake name. Okay, I'm going to call this guy Sam. Hey Lewis, my name's Sam. Anyway, I'm currently dating this girl who I'm really keen on, and we've been together for a few months. The thing is, not long after we got together, she was telling me about a guy she used to have a crush on that she fucked. But he used her just to lose his virginity. Bit of a dick move. Of course, it had to be a bloke I knew fairly well, and it pissed me off that he could do something like that. After finding this out, I started to distance myself from him and only hanging out with her. You're making a mistake. Lately, however, she's been acting really I don't regret anything, and I've caught her staring at him quite a lot. What the fuck do I do? Sam, okay?
What does he mean that she's been acting I don't regret anything?
Basically what Sam is doing, okay? Sam's in the friend zone, okay?
Are you sure? Is that what it says?
Oh wait, I'm dating this girl.
Dating the girl.
Fuck. Okay, I'm
They're
dating
really
this girl.
Been together for a few months.
Okay, so you're not in the friend zone. She's just a whore.
Oh, that's a horrible thing to say. Just because they had sex with one other person doesn't mean she's a whore.
No, look. She's been acting I don't regret anything, and I've caught her staring at him quite a lot. Mate, she wants to fuck you, mate.
Staring at him. Well, I don't know. What does he do?
Yeah, what does he do? You need to...
Look, I don't know why she'd be staring at him. That's a bit weird. Honestly, I would say if you guys want to have a good relationship, you should probably, as best you can, cut that guy out. Because...
Yeah, that's the thing. If you both know what happened, I'm assuming you guys go to school together or something, or you work together or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
You say virginity, so I'm assuming you guys go to school together. If you can cut him out of your life. That's easy, but that's not the issue. She needs to cut him out of her life.
Yeah, she needs to make that choice because obviously, if what you said's right, he did use her, and she obviously has something good with you, but she's still thinking about the other thing that she can't have. And unfortunately, with a lot of girls, when they're not properly know themselves and what they need.
Yeah, this is what we were talking about before.
Yeah, what they want is the thing that they can't have rather than the thing that they do have, the good thing that they have. So
and that's classic I need to fill an empty hole in my soul behaviour.
Yeah. Look, I don't think it's wrong if she doesn't regret anything.
Yeah.
I mean, the past is the past. It's part of who you are, what's happened. But if she's acting in a way like she'd kind of want to do it again, then that's not someone
that's
that
very disrespectful to you, mate.
Yeah.
And you should definitely not put up with that.
Yeah. However, I would say that seeing someone looking at someone isn't proof that they want to have sex with them.
That's true.
Like, it could have been coincidence.
Staring.
I don't know.
She didn't say looking. I've caught her staring at him quite a lot.
I think you should find out.
She's taken a lot of looks. She's thinking, I wouldn't mind getting back on that train.
Well, you don't know that, though.
You better watch out, Sam.
This is what I would say, Sam, is that you have to talk to her openly. A lot of guys are really bad at this, of actually facing problems head on, something that could be really...
Yeah, it's something that we suck at.
Yeah.
This makes me uncomfortable, but talking about it was going to be even more uncomfortable, but it might fix the problem.
Yeah.
So I'm just never going to speak about it.
Because if you like this girl, then you need to give it the chance to talk about it. Because if you don't talk about it, it's always going to be niggling you in the back of your mind.
Yeah, forever. And then that'll ruin your relationship.
So you need to talk to her about it. And it might turn out that you're interpreting things wrong. Or it might turn out that you've hit the nail on the head. Like, you just need to talk to her, go to her openly. Don't go to her attacking her, saying, oh yeah, I've seen you looking at this guy. Just go to her just to discuss where she stands with this guy that she has been with in the past. Because if you don't talk about it, you're not giving yourself an opportunity with your relationship, and you're gonna fail.
Yeah, so, you need to communicate as well that in the most respectful and understanding way that she has to not hang out with this person anymore.
If it makes you feel uncomfortable, then that should be what's important.
Yeah, and obviously, okay, you're really young, so if it doesn't work, it doesn't matter. You'll find another girl. That's another thing. Okay, you're really young. You can find somebody else. She's not the only girl on the planet. So if it doesn't work, she's like, oh, but I really just want to hang out with him, and there's nothing there. That means she wants to cheat on you, okay? And you just need to cut her out, I think. You obviously talk to her, but if talking to her doesn't lead to anything productive, just cut her out. It's not worth the hassle. That's what I think.
Yeah, well, look, talk to her and just see what she says. And what Lewis said is not necessarily true, that if he says, oh, there's nothing there, that means that she wants to suck someone else's dick. not necessarily 100%
No, but
correct.
you know what I mean.
No, but
If you go, because obviously she's not friends with him, right? So if you say, hey, you're not friends with this person, you don't talk, I would like you to commit to not hanging out with them. And if they fight that, there's something there. They want to go back. It's like, no, I just really want to keep this casual acquaintance in my life.
Well, just just see what works for you, because it might be she just doesn't say it the way that you do, in which case you just have to explain that it makes you feel uncomfortable. And if she's not willing to make the sacrifice for you, then she obviously doesn't value your relationship.
Yeah.
Because relationships are about finding the agreement and the sacrifice that works for both of you. So even if there is nothing there, if it really makes you feel uncomfortable, tell her, and if she cares about you, you'll find a compromise.
And if she doesn't, you can find another girl. All right, so next question. Good luck, Sam.
Good luck, Sam.
G'day, Lewis. I hope you're doing well. Love your videos. Long-time fan of the podcast. Thank you very much, man. I need some advice on my life. Keep me anonymous. Call me Harambe or Jeff. Harambe or Jeff?
Harambe.
All right, Harambe. I've been single for a few months and I've just started a new job at a cafe. Upon starting there, I realized that 2 of the employees of that cafe who I am now working with are old friends of mine from primary school. Both of them are girls, I'm a guy. I hadn't seen them in 6 years and they're both pretty hot and easy to talk to. I never work with both of them at once, only one at a time, and every time I do work with one of them, we always end up flirting heaps and talking to each other the next day. Harambe is a bit of a player.
Yeah.
This is what this is. This is where this is going. Fast forward 3 months and it's becoming increasingly obvious that both of them like me as a friend and maybe even more. I got invited to a party and they were both hosting and I ended up talking to them for the whole night. But every time I would try to talk to one of them individually alone, the other one would drag me away. Yeah, they're both keen on you. They're
Sounds
competing.
like The Bachelor.
Yeah, they're
Sounds
competing.
like an episode of The Bachelor.
Yeah. Except this guy doesn't sound successful at all. I'm just kidding, man. It's now been a few weeks since that party, and they both still talk to me a lot and always ask to see me, but neither of them knows that I'm talking this friendly to the other. Oh, and one important detail is they are identical twins.
Oh, okay.
Oh, shit. This just got pretty hectic, Harambe. And they have similar personalities. I want to hook up with one of them, but I know it will crush and potentially damage my relationship with the other one. I'm not particularly keen on entering into a relationship either, as I just ended a very long one. Keen on getting my dick wet, but can't do it without feeling like an arsehole. See, Harambe needs to go for the threesome. He needs to go for the 3-0.
Oh.
Which is impossible.
Yeah,
Thoughts?
good luck with
Threesome?
that.
Cheers, can't Harambe. Shit. Look, man, I think you're just going to have to pick one because they look the same and they have similar personalities.
Yeah.
He hasn't even said he likes one more than the other.
Yeah. So obviously, as he said, he's looking to get his dick wet.
Yeah.
So
you just have to pick one, man.
Look, it's a hard situation if you are just looking to get your dick wet because they're identical twins, so they're probably best friends. And one thing to consider is that don't just assume that they don't know what the other one is doing, because girls are really tricky.
Oh yeah,
And
they're already fighting and competing with you.
They're identical twins. They're probably best friends. So don't assume that they don't know. They might just be playing you. They might be doing it on purpose just to.
And identical twins are
hilarious.
always competing with each other anyway, because they look the same and everyone puts them in the same box.
Yeah.
So they're always like, I need to be an individual.
Yeah. What I would think to do if you do really want to have sex with one, you can't go both. It's just not going to work.
You could.
No.
You could. You'd ruin their relationship.
I really
You could. It's not morally correct, but you definitely could.
I don't know. It would be really hard because I think that the other one would tell the other one.
Oh,
straight
yeah.
away, and then the other one wouldn't be interested.
No, I don't know. Depends what type of girl they are. You could totally do both. Okay, what do you reckon you should do? And then I'll tell you. Okay, this is what we're going to do, Harambe. Jasmine's is going to give you the thing that you should do.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give you the thing that you shouldn't do, but probably would be better. A lot more fun. Well, okay, Jazz, what should he do?
Oh, God. Well, I don't want to say now that I know that he's just going to go for your...
No. He might listen. He might be a
Okay.
good dude. He did say he doesn't want to damage their relationship with the other one. So he wants to be friends with both of them.
So what I think you need to do is you need to pick one. Probably, if your end goal is, it's probably never going to be able to have a relationship with one of these. We know someone who did have a relationship with identical twins.
Do we?
Yeah.
Ah.
He was seeing one. One was really interested. And then he ended up getting together with the other one. So he went on a couple of dates with one, and then he ended up getting together with the other one. And the whole thing was fucked, wasn't it?
Yeah, because originally he liked the first one. No, one of the twins liked him. And they flirted for a little bit. But then he ended up dating the sister.
The other one.
And then from then they had a proper relationship. But the one he originally flirted with always tried to fuck up the relationship.
She was poisoned to the relationship.
Succeeding.
Yeah, she was poisoned to the relationship because she was jealous like that. So if you're looking for a relationship, just so you know, it's going to be really hard. But it doesn't look like...
that he's not.
Yeah, it doesn't look like you are because you don't even have a preference for either one. So...
So obviously personality isn't really the main factor here.
So what I would say is that if you want to get with one successfully, that you'd have to pick one, choose probably the one that you think would be more willing to potentially
the looser one, the one I mean
in terms of the relationship with the sister, the one that's more willing to do something like irreverent to the sisterhood.
Oh, the cunt one.
Yeah, the one that's a bit more of a cunt. So
yeah, because she'll be willing to throw her sister's feelings in the bin to have sex with you.
Yeah, potentially. Maybe the one that's a little bit more selfish is the word we're talking about.
Yeah.
So, but
selfish and competitive.
Before you do it, I would say talk to her about what's been happening. Tell her like, look, I'm really interested in you, but I'm getting the vibe from your sister that she's interested in me too. But what I really want
You're a
is
genius.
you.
That's going to flare up her competitive nature.
Yeah. So don't make it like that you're interested in both of them. Say like, look, I'm getting the vibe from your sister that she's really interested in me, but what I really want is you. So make the one that you choose feel like, you know, she was the only
You're the only
real
one
option,
I'm interested in.
and that the reason that you're talking to the other one is that you're just friends with her. So say, look, I'm good friends with you and your sister, but I'm getting the vibe that she's interested in me. But what I really want is you, is that I'm interested in you. And see how that goes, because that might work.
And then she's going to go, that bitch is trying to take the guy that I'm interested in.
Yeah.
That's it.
And she'll feel really special because you said to her, like, because this is basically the closest person to her on the planet.
Yeah.
But you're telling her that she's superior because you're interested in her and not
and
the other
that'll really light up. See, maybe this is some serious mind game shit. Only girls can do this.
You wouldn't get this kind of in-depth knowledge from Lewis.
No, see, I'm just gonna give you the horrible thing that'll fuck up a relationship.
No.
Jasmine is using a scalpel. I'm about to use a hammer.
Yeah, so that's what I would do, and make it like, just know that the one that you choose, you're probably not going to have a chance with the other one, and it might not even be successful with the one, because as I'm saying, identical twins, they're often like sisters, so they might not even know. I would think that they do know that each other are doing it,
they definitely know.
They might be like doing it to play with you as a bit of fun, because girls can be horrible.
Yeah.
They love
Girls
love the attention. They love flirting, they love the attention, and who knows, they might. It's unlikely, but you might get lucky. They might be into some kinky shit together. But you're not going to know. So choose one and go in really tactfully with the, like, look, I'm really good friends with you and your sister, and I'm getting the vibe from her that she wants to be more. But all I want is, I'm just really interested in you, just yourself, and sort of talk to her and see how that goes. Look, if it fails with one, don't go for the other one. That's not going to work. Don't go, oh, it doesn't matter,
Hedge
round
your bets,
2.
Bro.
Yeah. choose the twin carefully. And yeah, I don't know. Or maybe if that doesn't work, just move on to someone else.
Okay, alright, so that's what Jazz thinks you should do, and that's basically the first half of what Jazz is saying. I agree with. Okay, you need to. My one's more of a long-term game, okay? This is what I think you should do. You can definitely fuck them both, but you have to be okay with knowing that you're going to make them hate each other for at least 6 months. But that's fine. If you're fine with them hating each other,
It's
you can
not
go.
fine.
You can go for both. It's not morally fine, but you know, if this is the dick talking, okay? this is what your dick would do. This is what your dick wants you to do, okay? What you need to do, okay, is you need to do what Jazz said. Is you need to get the other one alone, maybe take her out for a drink, and say, look,
coffee.
I get the feeling that you're interested in me and I'm really interested in you, but I think your sister also likes me, so what's the best way that you and I can get together without hurting your sister's feelings? And then that's all you need to say, and that'll really light up her brain, because twins compete with each other, especially identical twins. They're always competing. That'll work. She'll be like, my bitch sister's trying to fuck the guy that I want. And then you can do whatever you want with her, right? You can fuck her, okay? So that's one twin down.
I just don't understand
Halfway there.
how you think that identical twins hate each other. It's
They don't hate
basically-
each other, but subconsciously they're competing because everybody puts them together in a box. Like, oh, they wear the same outfits, and both of them are just striving to prove that they're their own individual person.
But they could just be best
And that's-
friends. What if they're healthy people? You don't know. Okay, so if they are competing with each other...
I don't think they're healthy people because they're competing with each other. When he's at parties, when one of them's talking to him, the other one comes and snatches him away. They're competing. This is a competition. Who can get on his dick first? Okay? And you know what? This is where the only winner in this race is you, man. Okay? So that's what you do, and that's how you get the first one. And then, okay, you can play it one of two ways. If you have sex with the first one, then you have a window of about, it depends if they live together, right? They might live, if they do live together, then this is going to be harder. But if they don't live together...
No, they're all about 18, because he said that he hadn't seen them for 6 years in primary school, so...
they were hosting...
12 plus...
Okay, they live together, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say
So
if
they're
they
about
don't live
18.
together, you have about 3 days to fuck the other one before they find out.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
But they do live together, so... You've probably got about 8 hours. However long it takes for her to drive from the hotel back to her house, you could call up the other one and say, hey, I've got a hotel for 8 more hours. Come
I
round.
think you might have to hammer the logistics of that out a little bit smoother than what Lewis is saying, because girls have mobile phones.
Okay.
And Snapchat. She
All
might
right.
even Snapchat while
All
they're
right.
fucking. I've seen
Okay,
that from
no.
some girls. It's gross.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you?
No.
No. That's...
On the internet.
Oh, on the internet, yeah. No, I've had fans send me Snapchats of them fucking a girl. Like, hey, Nebs, look what I'm doing. And
It's like, don't do that.
I'm not impressed.
No one's interested in that.
I don't think she's into that.
No.
Weird.
No, that's weird.
If you fuck both of the twins, though, definitely Snapchat me. All right, so this is the other option. So they live together, so you couldn't have sex with both of them before they find out. What you can do though is you have sex with one of them, and then I reckon you can have sex with the other one in about 4 or 5 months. But you have to stop flirting with the one you have sex with, okay? And you might have to cut back on shifts with them. So cut the other one out of your life, and then just focus on the other one. And then I reckon you could do both. And then they'll probably hate each other, but you could do it. I believe in you.
But there are a lot of variables and moving parts in Lewis's plan. So if your life doesn't adhere exactly to what Lewis is describing, you might have to adjust it.
Jasmine's is more realistic, I will be honest, but if you believe in yourself, mate, you can achieve anything.
Lewis is more like shoot for the stars.
Oh, yeah.
Aim for the, what is it?
Aim for the stars and you'll land in some twins. That's what I'm saying.
That's fucked.
All right, next question.
Is this the last one?
Good luck, Harambe. Update me. If you manage to have sex with both of them, definitely email me. This is the last one, and then we'll wrap up the potty. Hey, Lewis. This is from a lady. Hey, Lewis, because I know a lot of people at my school are fans of you, please keep me anonymous. Don't put my picture anywhere. Thanks. What should we call her? Michelle?
What? She sent you a picture.
Yeah, it'll come later. Don't worry, it's not tits.
Okay.
Michelle? We'll call her Michelle. That's an ugly name. I'm sorry if anyone's called Michelle and they're listening. I'm not sorry. I'm just going to jump right in. Basically, I'm in year 12 and the formal, prom, whatever you want to call it, is in a couple of months. At our school, we get allocated partners randomly.
What?
And what?
Who allocates partners at a formal?
That's a school they've blocked their ears and go, kids don't have sex, la 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 la.
Do they allocate them male to female?
They must, yeah.
Or you could get
They allocate male to female.
Yeah.
What if you get the gay dude? Or if the two gay dudes
Get
want
each
to go
other.
to each other, go
Yeah.
with each other, and they get allocated to girls, and they're like, oh, this is just not what I wanted at all.
Oh, whatever. Anyway, back to the.
I know what you know what it is. It's for people like me who couldn't get a date to formal, and it
Yeah.
really cut them up.
Aw.
Actually, no. You know what? I would feel even worse. Because you know that even though it's allocated randomly, the hot people are still going to go, yeah, but you'll be my date, right? And then the random one is just a formality. So you know there's just some virgin loser nerd who's
Yeah,
got the hot
because
girl.
When you are at formal, you don't
hang out
just
with
hang
your
out
date.
with the person
Nah.
that you're sitting with at the table. Like, you have the stupid dinner, but you don't even pay attention to it because you're already drunk. And then
Yeah.
you go onto the dance floor.
Everyone's pissed at prees.
Yeah.
And then there's some nerd who actually thinks that the hot girl he's been randomly paired with is going to dance with him.
No, that's not
And
going to
then
happen.
she's just going to ditch him for
Yeah.
the guy she actually likes. And then Mr.
Yeah.
Virgin's going to cry himself to sleep.
Yeah, this isn't
That'd
the,
suck.
This isn't the teenage dirtbag song. Like,
No.
Get back to
This
reality.
is reality. Alright, so anyway, I'm not going to beat around the bush here. I want to fuck him on the night of the formal.
Wait, I think you missed a bit.
Oh, no, okay. Hang on, I
found
did.
you-
Okay.
yeah.
At our school, we get allocated partners randomly, and I found out through the grapevine that my partner happens to be the guy I've been attracted to for ages. So she's won the lottery.
Yeah.
We're actually pretty good friends and have a lot in common. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I want to fuck him on the night of the formal.
Yeah.
Or some other sexual business. Blowy in the bush. The problem is he is heavily religious. Catholic, to be succinct. I go to a Catholic school. Oh no. So all this stuff is encouraged and he is super into it. However, he was only converted to becoming holy like a year ago, and before that he was an infamous player. In fact, girls that have been with him say he is very skilled. So that means he obviously has a sex drive, even if he has sworn to remain holy to God or whatever. I know you and most other guys say that for a girl it's easy to get into a guy's pants, but he seems pretty stubborn, and also I'm not gorgeous or anything. I have got a nice red dress, so hopefully that helps. Basically, throughout the night, we have to walk in together, sit together, and take pictures, etc. So I'll be with him throughout most of the night. My question is simple. I'm terrible at flirting, and I want to know how can I get this guy to fuck me despite his devotion to Jesus. So basically, you're the devil, Michelle. I've attached a picture of myself so you can determine whether or not my chances are hopeless. And if he is completely out of my league, keep in mind that he's very attractive. That doesn't really matter when you're a girl and you're after a guy. Him being out of your league, there's not really such a thing as out of your league unless you look like a troll.
No, there is.
I don't know.
But in
If
high
we're
school,
talking
no.
sex. If we're
But in high school you weren't a really hot guy, so you can't say from that perspective from high school. Can you?
No, look.
No, guys in high school who are really hot, they have all the girls wanting them. All the girls want them. They get all the attention. So they can be picky. So someone who's more average may not have done that. But I get what you're saying, Michelle. There's definitely a vibe in high school that the guys get really picky because you're surrounded by girls all day long. And you know that they love you. They're basically like a...
Well, we don't know.
Like a hot
We haven't
girl.
looked at Michelle. So
Okay.
she could be pretty. She could be a troll.
Well, it doesn't...
We'll see. All right.
Alright, let's-
I've attached a picture so you can determine my chances. If you do get a chance to answer this, thank you very much. I'm a fan of your humour. It epitomizes the blunt schoolboy style comedy that I grew up with and never fails to make me laugh. Thank you very much. Sincerely, Michelle. Look, you're not ugly.
No, you're not ugly, Michelle.
She's pretty.
Let's have a look.
Don't inspect too much, or you're gonna fucking.
I'm not expecting too much.
Okay, I think she's pretty.
I think you look like you're trying to hide your face with your haircut. You need to... Confidence is the most attractive thing.
Yeah.
So you need to, like, own it, and when you walk in the room...
Keep in
walk the
mind,
room with
sounds
your
like
head held
Michelle.
high.
All she wants is she wants to get fucked. She doesn't want a relationship. Okay.
But
so,
still, you have to be confident.
Yeah,
if
you
you
gotta
want
slide it
that.
up.
Yeah. God.
slutty confidence.
Okay, well,
That's what we're going for.
do you want to say what you think first?
I think that this is formal. You've got a good chance because nobody really has sex at formal, like after formal. It's not really a thing.
Not really, not in Australia.
No, it's not. I never heard of it happening. It happened a couple of times, but it's not a common thing at all.
Yeah,
But
'cause
I think-
you all have to go back to your house with your parents, and they're
Yeah.
all waiting up late for you because you went out to formal that night.
Yeah. So if you really want to commit to this, you have to say it. I think you have to say, I like you. do you want to have sex after formal? Obviously, after you've been into the night, you've had some fun together, and both of you had some drinks.
You have to understand, this isn't just any guy. This is a guy who's committed himself to a religion.
Yeah,
and
that's
to an
true.
ideology.
Okay,
she's not asking, how do I get a hot guy to have sex with me? She's saying, how do I get a hot guy who's dedicated himself to a religion to forsake his religion for myself?
See, this is not a... What you're doing, Michelle, is not a nice thing.
Yeah.
It's not a nice... It's a thing that's going to... That you can definitely achieve if you can definitely do this, but just know he's going to feel really guilty.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, if he does fuck you, it's his fault.
Yeah, so if I can... What I would say
Jazz
is that...
comes from a heavy religious background.
Yeah,
She's
yeah,
probably better suited to this because she did leave that style of thinking.
I grew up with religion, and it was something that I believed in myself. And at one point in my life, I was the same as this boy, and I wanted to commit myself to God, to sort of wait for marriage and things like that. Obviously it turned out well. But no, I left the faith for other reasons. But I can tell you, during that period, I actually was seeing a boy, and I broke up with him because our religious ideologies did not line up. So this boy was not religious and I was, and I could feel that he wanted more from me physically. And to be honest with you, when you do believe in something like that, like this guy that you want to have sex with does, that is way more important to you than getting your dick wet. Like, I
think it's even stronger because he didn't grow up with it, obviously, because he was fucking around.
Yeah.
So he's, basically what that means is he's fucked a few girls and gone, God is better than this.
Yeah. And to be honest, if you're really good friends with him, and then you do try and get him to forsake his religious beliefs, he's probably not going to want to be friends with you.
Yeah, he could cut you out. I would.
Yeah, he could cut you out because that's what's more important to him. So you have to ask yourself how much you value the friendship. Because even if you try and you fail, he might say, well, you're a bad influence, and that he doesn't want to be around with you because to his perspective, you don't respect his life choices and his beliefs.
Depends how hardcore he is. I think that he would still... I think it's more likely that he wouldn't cut you out, but it's definitely a possibility.
But he could. It depends on his own
Because he's still, what, in year 12? He's still pretty naive about being strong, I would assume, generally.
Oh, come on. You get really, really strong religious beliefs at any age.
Yeah, that's true.
You make those hard choices.
Religion really fucks this up.
When I was 16 when I was seeing that boy, and I broke 16. I broke up with him because I felt that he wanted more from me physically than I would provide given my faith. So I broke up with him. Yeah. And that was a choice. It wasn't very easy, but it was quite easy for me to make that choice. So the first thing would be that you might just completely fail. It's got nothing to do with you, the way you look, anything like that. It's just that he has other priorities. He's chosen these priorities.
Because she's not ugly, right? She's quite pretty.
Yeah.
So if you fail, it's not because you're ugly or you're not hot enough. It's because Jesus is... I can't say hotter. Jesus is more important than pussy to this guy. But it's definitely possible, and basically it comes down to you have the power to make him incredibly horny. And when a guy is horny... all the blood from his brain goes straight down to his dick, and then all of a sudden he can't even remember a Bible verse, and all he wants to do is fuck you. So, look, it's going to come down to you're going to have to dance on him at the formal, right? Because he's probably going to be, I don't know, I'm assuming that he's probably going to be a little bit tipsy. So there's going to be that social lubricant.
No, he might not be because he's Catholic.
He could be, it could be Catholic.
If he's not doing sex, he's probably not.
That's true. Drinking. Drinking. Yeah, okay. Well, you can still dance on him. You're going to have to dance on him at the formal. You're going to have to rub your ass against him. Do that thing that girls are really good at, even though nobody teaches them how to do it. You can all dance really sexually. I don't know how you guys do it, but you all know how to do it.
I don't know. I don't know the best solution to the problem. The first thing I would say, probably, to be honest, you're quite young, so there's going to be other guys.
That's true.
And you're putting all your effort into this.
I think Michelle wants a little bit of what she can't have. Yeah. I think that's the main...
It might be another situation, is that the reason why this guy is so attractive to you is because he does have that commitment and that faith, which makes him just ruin. Yeah, it makes him so unattainable. But that's more psychology.
You gotta leave him. You gotta leave him alone. I don't think you can do this.
No, I think so. Because if that was me at that point in time, and someone if you were successful in
That'd break
making
you.
me forsake my faith, it would be horrible. You just feel so guilty. It's like it's so hard to explain this to someone who hasn't had the faith, that it's the most important thing in your life, and if you act in a way that is adverse to that, you've got no one to blame but yourself.
Yeah,
So,
you'd make him... I don't think it's right. Nah. I'm sorry, Michelle. I don't think you could do this, but I don't think you should. I think you should just leave him alone. Fuck somebody else. Surely he's not the only hot guy.
yeah, and you're so young. There are going to be lots of other guys. As you get out there in the world, the thing you don't realize while you're in high school is that in high school your world's pretty small.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, there's only a handful of people who are potential suitors. But then you get out there in the world, and there's everyone. You can have sex with whoever you want. Like, it's not that hard.
No, it's really not. Like, you can...
Like, man or woman. That's to all the listeners.
Especially if you're a woman.
Yeah.
Right.
Look, to all the listeners, just so you know, high school is just such a unusual part of life. Like, it does not represent the real world at all.
It's not real at all.
And who you are in high school that's not going to be who you are once you walk out those doors. So if you're in high school, you're having a hard time, don't get too down on yourself, because it will pass.
Oh yeah, definitely pass. I had a shit time in high school until my last year, which my last year was really, really great.
Yeah.
But all through high school I had a horrible time. Just because I was a freak and I didn't know how to socialise. It was 100% my fault. I wouldn't have been friends with me. I would have bullied me. I didn't get bullied, but I just had no friends. And I just learned how to socialise and make friends and follow my passion, and that gave me confidence. And then, you know, I've made way better friends outside of school in comedy and you know, people like Jazz that I didn't meet in school. That it's such a small world, and I hardly see people from high school anymore. Apart from my really close friends.
Well, look, I'm just trying to think about how to help Michelle, because I don't want her to go,
Look,
oh, no, wait.
We don't want Michelle to leave this podcast without a pathway to a dick.
Because that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to think of the best way. If you did decide that you wanted to do it, look, know that you're putting yourself out there and you might get rejected and feel horrible. But if you do, what's the best way to success? I don't think that just grinding
we're throwing morals out the door.
Yeah.
So just so you know, this is a horrible thing to do, but if you're going to do it, this is how you're going to do it.
I don't think just grinding on him would be the...
It's gonna have to be, you're going to have to chip down that wall of faith brick by brick. And that's throughout the whole night.
I think you're going to have to get him alone.
Yeah. You're going to have to... Because, see, this is what he's probably going to kiss you. I'm thinking that...
You can't assume that. They're just formal partners.
Yeah, but if she's pretty, right?
Yeah.
She can do it. Any girl, unless you're ugly, you can basically get just about any guy you want. I believe. If you flirt with them, she said she doesn't know how to flirt.
That's why I'm trying to think of how to tell her what moves to pull. It's just a little bit hard, because I don't know if the school you're at is large or small. I know the Christian school I went to was quite small, and at formal I did grind on someone, and I was told, a teacher quickly ran up to me, this is hilarious, and said to me, oh, we don't dance like that here. And I said to her, why not? And she just looks at me and goes, you'll understand when you're older.
And do you get it now?
Oh yeah, I get it now. Totally didn't get it then. No, of course I knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
It's just
we only do the nut bush here.
Yeah, basically, is that they're trying to throw this party for all these young people, and then got them to do stuff that young people make sure that they don't act like young people.
Yeah, stupid.
Yeah. So if it's a small formal,
yeah, my formals
honestly,
were all big.
I think if you want that dick, you probably have to look for it more long term instead of just at the formal.
Yeah.
If it's
he's
a small
probably already
one,
organised to get picked up by his parents or go back to their house.
Yeah, it's probably going to be hard logistically at a small format. If it's a bit bigger, you probably have a bit more freedom to see, like, if there's a lot of people and there's not so much
Unless you get an
supervision.
Airbnb around the corner.
Yeah, but there's no guarantee he's going to come back with
Hey,
you.
I'm staying here. You could just act a little bit drunk and say, I had too much. Can you walk me back?
Maybe.
And then sober up halfway through.
Yeah, you could get like
You have to get him alone.
No. Listen. So maybe you could get like an Airbnb or rent somewhere, just for the night.
An
That's
Airbnb
quite
will cost you
close.
$80. maximum for the night. It's real easy to do.
You wouldn't want a room in a house. You'd want like a small apartment or one.
Yeah, you'd want
thing.
the whole. Yeah,
and then I would actually organise a few people to go back, so he doesn't just have so much pressure.
That's true, because it might be awkward. You need a couple of people to come over.
You need a few people, but you need enough space that you'll be able to get him alone. But you need the incentive to get him to come over that isn't so awkward.
You know what you need? You need to bring
a group of people.
A group of people, and all of them also have a partner that they're interested in.
Yeah.
So it's like...
Look, we're sorry if you can't do this. This is just thinking of the best way.
Yeah. Yeah, you asked how, we're telling you how. It's your job to figure out how to do it. So Airbnb, and you want like 2 other couples.
Yeah, you want a couple of other people
that are already fucking, or they want to fuck.
Yeah, you can get them all to chip in for a room. So start talking about it now, with them, and being like, oh, we'll just, go back and, I don't know, fucking watch movies or whatever they want to do. Yeah. Don't make it a big deal.
Yeah, don't make it a sex party. Just make it, we'll get a room, we can stay there, it'll be fun, we can have a little party at the formal, and then we have to just, walk around the corner.
And tell your parents that you're staying at your girlfriend's house. Don't like if they're all, because if they're anything like my parents.
They know. Yeah.
But yeah, so I would do that and sort of stay close to your guy, and as Lewis said, maybe act a little bit drunk.
Get him to walk you there, or even organise beforehand that he would stay there.
Yeah, that's what the whole point was, Lewis. Yeah.
So if you can get an Airbnb, get him to agree to stay there to watch movies and just hang out and have a good wholesome Christian night. Yeah. You can corrupt the fuck out of him if you get him in a bed.
Yeah. The whole point is that you need some extended time. Just so you know, formals aren't like they are in the movies.
Nah,
it's
suck.
Nothing like that. Like it's not much time. You spend all this time doing your bloody hair and makeup, and then you end up in a limousine with a whole bunch of people that you don't like. Yeah. And then you have to eat food that's really average. And then you're dancing on the dance floor and your strapless bra is propping off the whole time. You have to go to the toilet. Yeah. Like, it's really...
I know how that feels.
It's no fun for a girl. It's all this effort, and then you get there and it's all over and you're like, oh, okay, that's fine, I guess. It was all right.
And then for guys... You have this belief that even though none of the girls wanted to fuck you all throughout year 12, for some reason on that night you've got a chance with all of them. And then you just get reminded one by one that none of them actually want to fuck you. Yeah. And Formal doesn't change that.
And then everyone just goes home early. Yeah. So, look, the best thing to do would be if there's an after party. I know I did go to a formal. It wasn't my formal, it was a different one that had an after party. Yeah, you need to host the
after party that's small.
Yeah, you need something.
And everyone going as a couple.
You need to get the booze going.
You got to be the organizer.
You need to be like around him, like ever that he is, but don't be annoying.
Yeah, don't
Some
be
girls
annoying.
get really annoying when they're trying to flirt.
Yeah.
Just be like happy-go-lucky.
Yeah.
And a bit drunk.
Yeah. So that's all you need to do. You need to host a very small after party. Everybody going as a couple, and you and him, like maximum 6 people, including you guys.
But if there is a big after party going on, just go along to that one. Because there's private rooms and shit.
Yeah, you just need to get him alone outside of the formal at an after party.
So just so you know,
it's not going to happen at formal. It's going to happen at an after party.
Nothing. There's too many people around.
So
he'll
organise
be
an
talking to his friends.
Airbnb or organise an after party, and then you just got to put the moves on him when you're alone in a room.
Yeah, and look, he might drink. He might want to have sex with you. Like, he might get caught up in the moment. And sort of be where he is. So if sitting on the couch watching a movie, sit next to him, and as I said, be a bit drunk. Be
all
like,
it takes from girls is physical body contact.
Yeah,
especially when you're in high school, that is all that it takes.
Stop interrupting me. I'm
to give you
really
a semi.
Good advice here.
All right, I'm talking about semis though. All right.
No one needs to hear about your semi, Lewis.
All right.
Just. So we
got to wrap this up pretty quick.
Yeah, we are. So just quickly. So just be a bit tipsy, a bit happy-go-lucky, laugh and sort of be like, oh, I'm so tired, and flop your head on his shoulder, and you can rub his thigh and sort of not too aggressively, just sort of be there so that he knows that you're like there.
Anything beyond a friendly physical contact is going to give any guy Sammy and be like, oh shit, she wants to fuck me, what do I do? Oh my god.
Sit in a way so you can see down your dress.
Yeah, there's so much.
All the normal stuff. This is disgusting. I never thought I'd be given advice like this.
Yeah.
I'm really good at it though, aren't I?
Yeah. Jazz knows what she's doing.
I know my shit.
But look, that's how you fuck him, but just know you can definitely do it, but if you do it, he's going to hate himself for a long time, and that's your fault.
It's going to be tough. So
but it's not really your fault, I guess. It's also, but yeah,
it's his fault if he decides to put aside his morals. You can't take that.
It's not 100% your fault. Not 100% your fault, but you definitely play a part in it.
Yeah.
Good luck, though.
Yeah, it's like if you sleep with someone who has a partner.
Holy fuck, this is, I thought the one with Carla was the longest podcast, but we just broke the record.
Lewis and I just talk too much. So sorry about that.
I think it's time to wrap this one up. Good luck, Michelle. I hope, let me know how formal goes, send me an email and I'll read it out on the podcast. Or I won't if you don't want me to. But I think I'd like an update.
Lewis and I have to go jump off the Westgate now, though.
Yeah, because that was a really long miscellaneous bit at the end.
Yeah, we're sorry, guys.
Sorry, guys. But thank you very much for coming on, Jasmine. I'll have you back in future.
Yeah, it was nice chatting to you, faggots.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening to Spearhead Sunday. Subscribe on iTunes. Give me a rating. Have a shit one. See ya.